to generate listings without Zillow, without Teams or paid ads. That is exactly what I'm going to be talking about for the next few minutes. If you are brand new, just tuning in, or maybe you have been watching me for many years, my name is Loida Velasquez, and I help agents just like yourself dominate prospecting. So before I get into my actual training, because these live streams and these videos are pretty much like training videos, I do want to give you just a little heads up of everything that I have coming up. Obviously, these live streams, I used to do them very frequently, a couple years ago. I'm bringing them back. So I will be going live on my YouTube channel every Thursday at 3 o'clock Eastern. So you can go ahead and put it in your calendar. I'm going to be talking about different topics in regards to prospecting, lead generation, teams. I mean, you name it, I'm probably going to be talking about it. And I will also be having a lot of different guests. Next Thursday, I will be having a guest. His name is Emilio De Spiritu. He's out in Rhode Island, and we're going to be talking about teams. So whether you have been thinking about joining a team, or maybe you are a team lead and your agents are leaving or they're not producing, this is the live stream that you're going to want to tune in. Now, before I continue on with, the topic for today, which is generating leads without Zillow or any of that, if you haven't joined my prospecting community, make sure that you do so. It's a school community, Dominate Prospecting. Every first and third Monday of every single month, I have masterminds. This is a completely free group where you can come in if you're actually serious about taking your skills to the next level. If you want to get better with lead generation, with prospecting, with objection handling, maybe you are making phone calls, but you're not seeing any results, or you're stuck in your business. This is a place that you want to be. I'm always posting tips and strategies and giving you my thoughts of what I have done and what has worked for me. So make sure that you do that. Join the school group. And for anything that I'm going to mention, you can just go to connectwithloida.com. That's where pretty much you'll be able to find all of the different links. Aside from that, I am bringing back my new agent bootcamp. I used to do these live a couple years ago. Then it turned into a course that agents could just tune in and do at their own pace, but I'm bringing it back live. So this month, February 23rd through the 27th, I will be doing a brand new agent bootcamp. And listen, this is not just for new agents. This is for agents who have been in the business for a while. Maybe you just got your license. Maybe you are in the process of getting your license, or maybe you have been in the business for 20 years and you're still clueless as to how to succeed because you've always been winging it. This is the bootcamp that you want to tune in and join. I will be going over everything from setting up your business, working with buyers, sellers, investors, how to show up on social media, how to win offers, how to get listings and listing appointments and overcome objections. I mean, this is jam-packed information. If you enjoy my videos on YouTube here, which is free, my boot camps and anything that I do that is paid is like next level. So again, connectwithloida.com. That is where you can go and find info. Right now, you can just sign up for the wait list. That way, when I do release everything, you can just go ahead and sign up for that. Also, for any of the agents, if you're tuning in and you're in South Florida, on February 19th, I will be doing an in-person event at a new construction location here. It's called Gaia Residences in Hollywood, Florida. I'm teaming up with the sales executive there, and we're going to be talking about how to dominate on social media and build authority with content. So again, all of the links for all of this, connectwithloida.com. As you're tuning in and you're watching this, maybe you're watching this live or the replay, I would love for you to tell me where it is that you're tuning in from. So drop in the comments. Let me know what city, what state, if you are newer in the business or how long you've been in the business. That would be super awesome and helpful, because let me tell you, in the next couple minutes, it might go 20 minutes, it might be 45 minutes. I don't know. I might go the whole hour. I'm going to be sharing with you a lot of what has helped me generate listing leads. And listen, I have never paid for realtor.com or Zillow or ads or anything like that. And I'm sure if you're watching this, you probably have been maybe a part of a team that was giving you leads, or maybe you have spent a lot of money yourself and you didn't get anything. Maybe you got a bunch of tire kicker leads that were a waste of time. So again, I'm going to be breaking down pretty much how I have generated leads. And listen, I'm keeping it simple. So if you are wanting like the magic bullet or some magic trick, like, do 3 circles around your house and you're going to get listings tomorrow, like this is not the video for you. So you can just tune out. But if you are ready to, get to work on your skills and actually implement some of the things that I'm going to be talking about, there's definitely a lot of things that you'll be able to take away from this training. So make sure that you have your pen and paper ready, because with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and get started now on how you can generate leads without Zillow, Teams, or paid ads. I recently have been having a lot of conversations with agents throughout, different areas and parts of the country. And many of them have been telling me, and they have said, you know what, Loida, I have been a part of a team for many years, and now I'm doing my own thing, and I have no idea how to prospect, how to find my own leads, or what to even do. I have also gotten agents that have said, you know what, I have always relied on referrals and social media and open houses, but that has not been consistent. So I know I need to do something different. So with that being said, I made a post on Instagram earlier today, just sharing with you, how my life in real estate looked like 10 years ago. And what I'm going to break down today, it's nothing crazy, nothing different. What I was doing 10 years ago still works today. It has worked 20, 30 years ago. And I just want to start off with first, if you have been relying on other sources for lead generation, what I'm about to say is going to probably make you uncomfortable, because it's going to require you to pick up the phone and talk to people. And it's funny, I always hear it all the time when agents say, you know what, Loida, I'm sorry, but I can't cold call. Like, that's not me. If that's you, again, this video might not be for you. Don't be apologizing to me. I think it's funny when agents apologize to me, telling me that they can't cold call. Don't apologize to me. Apologize. You're still going to get your mortgage statements. You got to do something, whether you got to pay your mortgage or your rent. You have to do something to generate business. And it's very uncomfortable, right? Generating leads, picking up the phone, talking to people. It's not glamorous. A lot of people don't like it. It can be very uncomfortable. If you're an introvert, if you're not used to being out of your comfort zone, picking up the phone and talking to strangers is going to make you have kind of like anxiety. So the very first lead source that I highly recommend if you're trying to generate leads and you will get listing leads is going neighborhood circle prospecting. Right. And like I said, I'm not going to be talking any crazy strategies on here, because I like to keep it simple, and stuff that has already worked for years still works now. I think nowadays there's so many distractions out for real estate agents. Everyone's trying to sell you something. Everyone's trying to tell you, you don't have to do this. It's going to be easier. You don't have to pick up the phone. People are going to be calling. Listen, picking up the phone, circle prospecting. This is the best way that you can start talking to people, especially if you're not used to prospecting, because maybe you have always been relying on people reaching out to you or sending you referrals. So when it comes to circle prospecting, select a neighborhood. You might just start with the area where you currently live. It could be something, small. I will always recommend, obviously, to get yourself a lead generation platform, something that gives you the data so that you can make the phone calls. Otherwise, you're going to spend a lot of time looking up the information yourself. So let's say you get something like, for example, Vulcan 7 that provides you a lot of the data, which I'm going to be going over today. You want to pick an area, right? So let's say you pick an area, you can do just listed or just some phone calls. And the reason that I want to start with circle prospecting is because these are probably going to be the easier calls versus expires and for sale by owners, which I'm going to get to, and I'm going to share with you some awesome information that you can use the next time that you meet with some of these sellers to pretty much show and demonstrate to them that they shouldn't be going for sale by owners. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, going and circle prospecting these neighborhoods are going to be easier calls. Now, the thing with circle prospecting is that many times these people are not going to be ready to do something. So you're going to have to be very good when it comes to staying organized, having a database, and just staying on top of them. A lot of people do farm, whether it's in person and they go door knock, or maybe I hear people, drop off cupcakes or pumpkin pies or whatever it is. I have always enjoyed just circle prospecting on the phone and building a farm that way, because if I have a good conversation with someone over the phone, and even if they might not be looking to do something real estate related like buying or selling, I ask them if I could stay in touch. Most of the time they say yes, or if not, then we like, oh, just send me your information. I'll say, I will definitely give you, I'll send you my information to the mail. Is this the best number to reach you at? So I can also shoot you a text message with my info so that you have it. Most of the time they say yes. And then I ask, is it okay if I circle back or check in here and there just in case you need something? Maybe you need a plumber or a termite company. Look, at the end of the day, when you're circle prospecting, you want to build these relationships. And maybe it's not so much you're trying to find someone that wants to buy or sell immediately, but you want them to remember you as the agent in that area that can be their go-to person if they ever need anything. And I know that it has happened to me where I live, where out of nowhere you need a plumber and you're like, who do I know that knows a plumber? So that's exactly what you want to build. You want to build these relationships, because also the next time that you do reach out to them, maybe you call them once a month and you ask them, hey, how's it going? Anything new? Is there anything that I can help you with? They might say, you know what? The neighbors across the street, I was talking to them and they mentioned that they might be thinking about selling. You should connect with them. So at that point, I'll see if that person would be okay with giving me the information of the neighbor or doing a three-way text. Or if none of that works, then I will go and personally door knock that neighbor myself. So again, that is how you leverage people when you're circle prospecting. And these are easy conversations. Depending on how you are, I have talked to agents that say, you know what, I'm a more of a in-person type of person. So I'm okay with going door to door. Or some of you might be like, I don't want to go to door to door, but I'm okay with picking up the phone. So again, whatever floats your boat and you like to do, just get out there and start meeting and talking to people. I have a friend, he's an agent, he was a part of the team years ago. He has a little dog. And when he goes out and walks the dog, everyone starts conversations with him. So he leverages his pet in the neighborhood, starts conversations, exchanges information. So again, these are just like little things that maybe you might be overthinking it. And you might be thinking, oh my gosh, this is hard. What am I going to say? Just have normal conversations like a normal person. And usually, when you start in your neighborhood, those are the easiest conversations that you can have because you already know the area. Maybe there's something new that's being built, across the street or in a couple of blocks nearby, or new construction happening, whatever it is. These are great ways for you to start conversations. Again, so whether it's in person or if you find or get yourself a platform that gives you the data, some of them do have different filters where you can actually be even more specific with who you want to target. So for example, with Vulcan 7, they have a few different filters that you can select from. So one of them are non-owner occupied properties. So let's say you want to circle prospect properties that are absentee owners. These are homeowners that don't live there. So most of the time, these are investment properties. So when you're talking with these homeowners, the conversation might be like, hey, I was reaching out about the property you had on Main Street. Just want to see, have you had any thoughts about possibly selling that and doing a 1031 exchange? Because many times these investors, a lot of the time they're investors, they have multiple properties and they might say, you know what? No, I'm not looking to sell that, but I'm always looking to buy. Do you have anything in blah, 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 blah? That's a very usual, typical conversation that you might have with one of these people. And from there, it's your job to start asking questions and pre-qualifying. So asking, are they looking to, do they like to fix and flip? Do they like to buy and hold? What are they looking for? And that's how you can start building your database of investor leads that you have, because you might cold call the next person that says, hey, yeah, you know what? I do want to sell my multi-units, it's 5 units, this and that. And if you have people that you have already been like writing down, maybe they didn't want to do anything, but you have your list of investors. Whenever you do come across an opportunity, these are the first people that you reach out to. And that's how you can connect buyers and sellers off market. Very easy. If this is making sense, if you're watching this, please leave me a comment. I would love to just make sure that you're following along, because again, I'm going to be going over a lot of information, and obviously you're going to be able to watch the replay as well. So we have the neighborhood circle prospecting. Along with that, what I really want to touch on, and again, this is not brain surgery, this is nothing crazy out of this world, the new and the old expired. Look, this is the lowest hanging fruit. I'm going to talk about expires and for sale by owners. So if you thought I was going to talk about something different, I'm going to focus a lot on this right now. So obviously, these are homeowners that have already raised their hand. They wanted to sell, and for one reason or another, they just didn't sell. Now, some of the reasons that a property comes off the market unsold, there may be a lot of them, but some of the main ones are price. Another one, whether or not it showed well. Another one, whether or not it was easy to show. Maybe there were tenants in there. So again, you never really know the situation of why a property has come off the market, but the fact that someone was previously trying to sell and they didn't sell, these are the people that you want to go after. And it's not going to be that easy. But again, over time, you just start to get better because the conversations, they start to sound the same. Everyone says the same, couple of objections in the beginning, like, oh, I'm not interested. I'm not looking to sell anymore. Or, you're the 20th agent that has called me. Like, as long as you start to remember and practice the objection handlers for the typical objections that these expireds tell you, it's going to be so easy for you to pick up the phone and actually want to call them. That is my experience and how I became very good and comfortable with calling expireds. And before I get even more into that, I just want to share with you a little bit of, my background. Growing up, I was never an outgoing person. I would be the last person that you would think would be in real estate. In growing up in middle school and elementary school, college, I hated anything regarding public speaking, volunteering to speak in front of crowds, talking to strangers. Please don't even tell me to do anything of that. So the fact that I do that now and I became very good at, making phone calls and door knocking, even sometimes I don't believe it. So if I was able to do it, if you think that it's really uncomfortable, believe me, there's something in you. And as long as you know exactly why you're in this business, you're going to be motivated to pick up the phone and make those phone calls. And which, on a tangent, I want you to fully understand or write down somewhere, why are you in this business? Right? Why are you in real estate? Many times agents say, you know what, Loida, how do you stay motivated? How do you continue to do the calls and this and that? And look, yeah, sometimes I don't want to do it. And there were many times when I was newer in the business that I did not want to make phone calls or call expireds after being yelled at multiple times. But I knew that there was a reason why I wanted to do this. And I couldn't go back to my 9 to 5 salary job where I was being overworked and underpaid and working with negative people that would drain my energy and be in traffic 2 hours to get home and it was terrible. So I knew, okay, I don't want to go back to that, but I know that real estate is not going to be easy or glamorous, but as long as I put in the work and do what successful people have done in the past, as long as I do that, I'm going to get the same results. So with that being said, expires was a reason that I started going after that lead source. And over time, it got better. So an expired schedule that you can follow is if you're going after new expireds, if there's any that are close to you that you can actually door knock, that they are owner occupied, in person is always great. And what I would do is that I would door knock these homeowners at 8:30 in the morning. Many times they're going to be there or they're going to be on their way to work, but they'll open the door. And at that time, many times they will have already been getting so many phone calls that they're not even picking up the phone. So if you show up in person, they might say, oh, you know what? I've been getting so many calls from agents and this and that. Great. Well, you know what? Unfortunately, Mr. Seller, you're going to continue getting these phone calls. So, I mean, what happened? What do you still have plans on selling or what are you going to do? And once you're in person, it's less likely for them to slam the door in your face and they're going to talk to you. And at that point, again, it goes back to being sharp. So if you have never prospected or gone after these type of leads, expires for sale by owner, circle prospected or in person, you have to start working on your skills now, which brings me back, to my prospecting community. Dominate Prospecting on School. Make sure that you join that because we mastermind every other Monday and we role play scenarios like this. You have to work on your skills. Otherwise, it's going to be very uncomfortable and you're going to hate it every single day. I hated it in the beginning, but then it got really good. And I'm like, you know what? I see a for sale by owner sign when I'm driving. And like I reverse and I stop and I take a picture and I'm like, I'm gonna call them because I want to see if I can set an appointment. Because that's how I became. It was almost like I was itching for that for sale by owner sign because I knew that I was very good at handling the objections. And I was role playing every single day for about an hour in the morning and then in the afternoon. So again, if you feel that, this is difficult, real estate, it's not easy. It's not what you see on TV, but it can be very rewarding if you put in the work. And it might just be requiring you to take that extra step of finding some help, some role play help, or getting feedback from someone. Maybe it's myself. Join my group, and if you have any questions, I will, connect with you to tell you exactly what you need to be doing differently, because you can't do this by yourself. If you can have a community that can guide you and help you, that is the best way for you to keep on pushing before you want to give up. So going back to the expireds, the new and the old ones, the old expires, a lot of agents are not tapping or going after. So what do I mean by old expires? Old expires can be as old as like 2 weeks or as old as over a year. If you're able to access that data and information, if you have had a lead source from, September until now, go back as far as you can, because there's a lot of those homeowners that have not relisted. January 1st and December 31st are probably the biggest days when it comes to expired listings, along with June 1st. So there's a lot of properties that came off the market December 31st and June 1st that have still not relisted, that agents are not calling. So if you want to go after expireds, but maybe the new ones, you're like, I'm just not getting through to any of them, go back to the older expireds. And the conversation that you want to have goes something along the lines of, hey, Jacob, this is Loida. Look, really quick, I saw that you had a property for sale in Maine that came off the market last December. Did you ever get that sold, or what are your plans? And that's it. And when you have conversations, also one thing that I want you to understand is that you have to be very good with your tonality when you are talking to expireds and FSBOs. Because if you're stumbling, and maybe this is something that you have to work on, if you are stumbling or if you don't know the type of person that you're talking to, that's when they might cut you off or they might hang up on you. But if you are, everything comes out smooth when you say it, they'll say, yeah, you know what? No, we haven't. We're still thinking if we're going to put it back on the market, or no, we're going to keep it. So let's go over some scenarios. If you call older expireds, here are some of the things that they might say. They might say, oh, no, we decided to keep it. Okay, whatever someone tells you, you still want to ask questions. Oh, okay. So you guys are thinking of just keeping it. I'm just curious, if the home had sold, what were your original plans, or where were you guys wanting to move to next? Because people don't just put up their home for sale for no reason. There's a reason, whether they were looking to upsize, downsize, relocate, get out of a neighborhood, or whatever. Unless there was like a significant life change that no longer requires them to move, like a job relocation fell through, they'll tell you. But most of the time, they might say, yeah, we're just going to keep it. We didn't get any activity. We just think that the market is bad. So now I can go back to continuing and asking more questions. Okay, well, what was the activity like? What kind of feedback did your agent give you? Did you get any offers? And, you just keep on asking questions. If you're watching this and you're not getting through to people, maybe you're just not asking enough questions. I like to say, if people are talking, I'm continuing to ask questions. I never let them say one thing and it's like, I take it for what they told me. No, I'm continuing to ask questions. And then that's how I'm able to see if, hey, well, you know what, Mr. Seller, I know you mentioned that you want to keep it because you think the market's not good. But if you could get your home sold, in the next 30 to 45 days and be in Texas, by March or before the summer, is that something that you would still consider doing? Because now I'm testing. I'm trying to see, I'm throwing out a feeler out there. I'm trying to see if they're biting. If they're like, oh, well, yeah, if we could do it. Okay, perfect. Well, you know what? Why don't we go ahead and set up a time, get together, and maybe see what it would take to make this happen? Are you and the wife available during the week or on the weekends? A lot of people are, again, they're not going after the older expireds. And these are easier conversations. They're not getting that many phone calls anymore. And it's just about asking questions and digging for the motivation, finding out what happened when they were listed or what their plans are for going back on the market. Sometimes it is, something that happened in their life that was out of their control and they had to pull it off. But many times, again, you want to find out what was the activity like. Did they get any offers? What was the feedback that the agent gave them? Where were they looking to move to? How soon did they want to be there? How has them coming off the market, changed their plans? How does the spouse feel about them not selling? When you ask about the spouse, they'll usually tell you, oh, well, you know what? Yeah, my wife wanted to be out there because her family is out there, but I would just want to be here. So now you want to tie in. Okay, so it sounds like your wife would still want to move out there, right? How about yourself? Do you want to move out there as well, or what are you guys thinking? I like to say, us as agents, we're problem solvers. And there will be problems that we can solve, and there will be problems that we cannot solve. There will be homeowners that need our help, and there will be some that are completely unrealistic and delusional. That I'm like, you know what, Mr. Seller, at this point, it sounds like you should just unpack your boxes and stay where you're at because you're not going to get the price that you're looking for. And that's completely okay. I'm okay with not taking a listing if I know that I'm not going to sell it. Recently, I was having a conversation with an agent that posted on the school community. They went on an appointment with a seller that wanted 1.5. The comps weren't there. Nothing has sold for that price. And she ended up walking away because she said, you know what, there's no justification. And he's kind of, he wants this price, but doesn't care if it doesn't appraise and all these other things. And she asked, did I do the right thing or should I have taken it? And I will always say, you never want to take an overpriced listing because you know it's not going to sell. You don't want to take a listing just to have, your name on a sign, because then when it expires, you're going to be that agent that couldn't sell that house. So no, if you've ever been in a position, I understand how it feels, because you might be like, well, this is the only listing I have right now. Yes, it's the only listing you might have, but it's not going to sell. So you're still not going to make any money. So it's better to know and have standards for how you operate in your business and the type of clients that you take. And for you to be able to walk away from working with someone and say, you know what, unfortunately, we're not a good fit. I'm at the end of the day going to tell you exactly what it's going to take to get your property sold, and the price that you want and where the market is, it's not, matching. So at this point, if anything changes, we can definitely keep in touch. And that would be the direction that I take. So again, with new and old expireds, there's so much opportunity out there. There's so many ways for you to be able to handle objections. And again, if you have trouble or if you need help with handling objections, or you don't even know what pattern interrupts are, or reframing, or how to take control of a conversation, make sure that you join my school community, Dominate Prospecting. The link is just school.com/prospecting, because I'm going to be breaking down that more in there. Pattern interrupts and reframing is going to help you take control of the conversation. So we've gone over the neighborhood circle prospecting. So that's a great way for you to start, get leads, keep in touch, talk to people. They might send you referrals, or they themselves might be looking to do something. And then also the new and the old expireds. So now let's talk about the new and old for sale by owners. There's a lot of agents that hate for sale by owners. Some of them might say, you know what, Loida, I love expireds, but for sale by owners, I just don't want to touch them. And that's completely okay. If you can go after expireds and for sale by owners and do it at a high level, now you'll just be lethal, and I'm telling you, you're going to be getting a lot of listings and appointments with these sellers, because again, these are people that are raising their hand and they want to sell. They have a reason for selling. Some of them might be testing the market. With for sale by owners, many times you're going to hear it. They want to save on the commission. Okay, whatever. Aside from that, you want to find out, why are they selling? So typically when I'm calling a for sale by owner and they answer, I'll say, hey, I'm Loida. Listen, I'm a local agent. I work with a lot with buyers and sellers in your area. And I just wanted to find out what I can do to help you. That's my line that I say with FSBOs. And there's a few different ways that they respond. They might say, "Oh, I'm not interested." Immediately I say, "Okay, not interested in what exactly?" That's my pattern interrupt. Another thing that they might say is, "Oh, no, I'm not looking for an agent." So then I say, "Okay, well, if I came across a buyer that's interested in your property, what would you want me to do?" Again, these are little lines that it throws off these for sale by owners because they're not expecting that. They're expecting an agent to say, "Oh, okay, well, thank you for your time," and then they just hang up. For me, like literally, if I'm calling every single day, I might come across someone that's interested in a house that just happens to be a for sale by owner. So I want to find out from the FSBO, well, if I came across a buyer interested in your home, what would you want me to do? Then at that point, they will say, "Oh, well, you can bring it." Oh, okay, perfect. So you are willing to cooperate with an agent then? Oh, yeah, I will pay 2% or whatever it is. And now I'm already in the conversation. Now I start asking, okay, well, I came across your house on Zillow. I see some pictures. I don't know, is it vacant or do you live there? And then now they just start talking. Oh, yeah, we live there, but we're going to be moving to Nebraska. So that's why we're selling. Okay, perfect. So what's your time frame look like? Again, I keep on asking questions and it never sounds like I'm interrogating them. It's always very conversational. But again, every question that I'm asking is a part of a script, but I'm just so good at how I deliver it that everyone thinks that it's just a conversation that I'm having. But at the same time, I'm writing down notes. I'm writing down what they're telling me because at the end, I can see and I can demonstrate to them, hey, well, you know what? If it made sense for you to partner with an agent and you can still get what you wanted in your pocket and make this move happen, would you be open to that conversation? They might say yes, they might say no, they might say, "Oh, not now, maybe like in a month or 2 months or 6 months," or whatever it is. Newer for sale by owners typically will say that. They'll say that they want to keep trying it for however long they want to try it or they want to do it for now. You always want to follow up every single week. Right? And there will be also no, there will be for sale by owners and people that go FSBO because they don't know an agent. Years ago, I took a for sale by owner listing. I called them and I started talking to them and I said, "Oh, is there a reason that you are trying to do this yourself versus, hiring a professional to help you?" They're like, "Oh, we just don't know any agents here and I need to move because I'm getting a job relocation to Indiana." So I said, "Oh, is that the only reason that you're trying to sell the home on your own?" "Yes, we need to sell fast." "Okay, perfect. Well, I'm glad that I reached out and I gave you a call because I can definitely help you. I work a lot in that area. How soon are you available to meet to see if it makes sense if we can work together?" "Well, you know what? How about today at 5? I'll be free. My wife is here." Perfect. I set that appointment for that same evening, took that listing 6%, got it sold in like 5 days, 15,000 above ask. And he was like a raving fan. And again, this was a for sale by owner that went FSBO because they just didn't know another agent. There's been other occasions where I'm talking to a for sale by owner and they go FSBO because again, it's almost very similar. They either don't know an agent or they think that they could do it, but they know that they're probably in over their head. And once they start talking to you, they're like, "You know what? Well, how much do you charge?" When someone asks me how much I charge, that's an immediate like green flag that they're at least open to talking to me or considering an agent. So again, you'll hear little clues when you're having these conversations. And something that I want to show you guys because I also get a lot of agents to say, "Well, Loida, for sale by owners can sell on their own." I say, "Yeah, for sale by owners can absolutely sell on their own, but it doesn't mean that they're going to sell for the most money or the best terms." And are they okay with, possibly being sued later on? When I had a role play partner years ago, and I remember one time he was telling me, he said, "You know what? I was recently talking to a for sale by owner. They didn't want to hire me. They didn't want an agent at all. And then months later, they ended up calling me because the buyer that they ended up selling the property to is now suing them." Obviously, this agent couldn't do anything, but there's scenarios like that where a for sale by owner is so adamant about going FSBO, and then later in the end, a couple months down the road, it ends up biting them, and then now it costs them even more. So Recently, last year in November, the Florida Realtors.com, and I'm in Florida in case you guys didn't know, I got an email and it was regarding for sale by owners. And I want to share it with you because I think this is very important. And when I see articles like this, I always save them and I print them. And if I ever have a listing appointment with a FSBO, I have two links that I'm going to share with you. This is something that I share with him because now it's not Loida saying, oh, you can't sell it on your own. This is actual data that has been collected. So this is first. This one was released November 12th, 2025, again from the Florida Realtors. And it says, for sale by owners reach all-time low. I'm going to go over a few pieces of this article. And it says, fewer homeowners are completing a for sale by owner transaction and are heavily turning to real estate agents for guidance, NAR found. So right here, the section, for sale by owner transactions, better known as FSBOs, comprise just 5% of home sales during the past few years, beating out last year's lowest record of 7%, according to the NAR. If I keep scrolling down, and again, you can find this on your own. You can probably go on Google and just type in Florida Realtors FSBO. For sale by owners struggle to sell solo. Homeowners who sell on their own often fall short on the final sales price compared to those who work with real estate agents. Over the past year, the median price for a for sale by owner was $360,000 versus $425,000 for agent assisted sales, according to NAR. So again, this is data that I present to a for sale by owner just so that they're aware. Because when they start complaining or telling me that, oh, well, we want to save money on the commission. Okay, well, you want to save money on the commission, but are you okay with giving away the equity of your home? And I'll demonstrate something like this. A lot of them, they're just not thinking about that. As we continue, why are more sellers turning to agents? Home sellers responding to NAR's 2025 profile said they decided to use a real estate agent because they wanted to be able to market their home to a wider pool of buyers and price the home more competitively. 86% of sellers said that their real estate agent provided a broad range of services and managed most aspects of their home sale. What's more, 87% of sellers said that they'd likely recommend their agent for future services. So in case you didn't know that, now you know, look up this article, save it, print it, and have it in your arsenal of things and rebuttals when you're talking to a for sale by owners. Because now there's clear data that for sale by owners are more likely to use an agent and will make more money and sell their home for more than if they were to do it on their own. I think I remember seeing a piece on here somewhere. I can't remember where it is, but it even mentioned how stressful these for sale by owners felt doing this on their own. So again, this is from the Florida Realtors that was released last year, November 12th. Now, another article that I want to show you, and this is again something that I bring up anytime that I'm talking to a FSBO, is the owner of ForSaleByOwner.com ended up selling his condo using a real estate agent. So not even the owner of ForSaleByOwner.com could sell the home on their own, right? And this might be the first time that you're hearing about this or that you're seeing this, but this is real. This is true. It happened 2011. Go ahead, Google it, look it up, because again, this is something that I share with for sale by owners when they're adamant about wanting to sell the home on their own. And I say, well, Mr. For Sale by Owner, did you know that even the owner of ForSaleByOwner.com ended up using an agent to sell the home on their own? They're like, no, I didn't know. Yeah, you know what? I'll send you the link so that you can read it. Because now, again, it's a third party. It's an actual article that was published by someone else sharing exactly what happened. And yeah, you guys can go ahead and read it. But again, for sale by owners, at the end of the day, they need help. They need an agent's help. Even the ForSaleByOwner.com owner could not sell the home on their own. And as you saw from the other article, right, from Florida Realtors, they're struggling. The data is there. So again, if you have been afraid of going after for sale by owners, this is your sign that they need some help. Hopefully all of this has been really helpful so far. They have demonstrated to you because again, I don't think I have ever seen any agent say, hey, you know what, Loida, are there any articles that actually give data that I can provide to a for sale by owner? Now you have it. So go ahead and look it up. These are easy to find. And I promise you, they're going to come in very handy to handle objections, because a lot of agents don't know this and they're not using this. And this is leverage for you going after the for sale by owners. So as we're continuing to talk about the for sale by owners, the old for sale by owners, because there's a lot of them, you could just go on Zillow. Go on Zillow, go to for sale by owner section, and you just scroll. You're gonna see so many that are old for sale by owners. And many times they're probably still trying to sell. They might not be getting as many phone calls. So now this is your opportunity to reach out and find out, hey, how's it going? I saw your home on Zillow. Is it available or did it already sell? Oh, no, it's still available. Okay, perfect. And then now I get into my conversation. Some of them might say, you know what? We're actually interviewing agents now. Great. I called at the perfect time then. How soon can we meet? You have to be ready for these conversations. Whether it's FSBOs, expireds, whoever you're calling, you have to be ready to hear, yeah, we're talking to agents right now. We're interviewing agents. Well, how much do you charge? What are you going to do? As soon as people start asking me those questions, for me, that's a green light. They're ready to hire me then. I just need to come in and prepared. With old for sale by owners, and something that you'll see, especially if you go on Zillow and look at these FSBOs, is that I like to also call the ones that have some crazy price reductions or some like dumb price reductions. And by dumb, I mean like when they lower it $1. You probably have seen it. I have also seen some crazy price reductions where they lower it like 200,000. So when I'm reaching out and for sale by owners start complaining about the commission, and let's say they had the property listed for 700,000, but then they reduced it to 200,000, then I'll call in if they start, oh, well, we don't want to pay a commission, this and that. Okay, so you were okay with dropping the price 200,000. So what if you're giving away the equity of your home? Is that something that you're okay with? And they don't think about it that way. Once you say lines like that, they'll be like, oh, you're right. I haven't thought about that. And I'll say, yeah, I mean, it might be a benefit for the buyer, but is that really what you want? Or don't you want to walk away with the most money in your pocket at the end of the day? No, that's what we want. Exactly. Okay. Well, what if you're leaving money on the table by doing it on your own? Did you know that recently there was an article from the National Association of Realtors where a lot of for sale by owners that took a survey mentioned that they ended up hiring an agent? Oh, you didn't know that? No worries. You know what? I'll send you the link so you can actually read it. So again, these are things that I send FSBOs, and then they start to realize, oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. I'm not being like rude or anything. I'm just having conversations with them, because many times they're not going to be ready on that first phone call. Some will, but some will just require follow-up where you're calling them every week. Or you'll get for sale by owners that will tell you, yeah, you know what, we're actually going to be doing an open house this weekend. Okay, great. And I'll usually try to see if I can meet with them before, but if they're adamant about the open house, then I will call them on Sunday evening. Hey, how were the open houses this weekend? Oh, nobody came. We had donuts and coffee, but no one came. Oh, okay. Well, how has the activity been like? Oh, I've just been getting a bunch of calls from agents and investors. Here's a line that I like to say. Okay, well, you knew that was going to happen, right? Well, what do you mean? Yeah, well, when you put your home for sale by owner, it's pretty much like you're raising your hand to everyone out there telling them, hey, I'm not represented by anybody. Maybe you do know what you're doing, but everyone from the outside will automatically assume that you don't. So they'll try to either lowball you or see what deal they can do with you. Does that make sense? They're like, oh, well, that makes sense. Yeah, well, do you want to continue getting those calls, or would you rather get calls from actual qualified buyers that are ready, willing, and able and have gone through the process of getting approved? Oh, yeah, that's exactly who I want. Well, you are aware that typically those buyers that have gone through the hassle of getting approved and submitting their documents, they are working with an agent that is helping them. And do you know where the first place typically is that we look for homes for our clients? Nowhere. The MLS, which right now, I mean, I just saw your home on Zillow. Is that the only way you're marketing it? Yeah, it is. Well, you're already missing, hundreds of thousands of eyeballs on it. So, I mean, is that the route you want to continue, or would you at least be open to seeing if there was a different approach where maybe we could partner together to get this home sold so you can move to Nebraska before summer? Yeah, you know what was your name again? My name is Loida. Yeah, Loida, you know what? I would love to. Maybe we can get together. Can you send me your info? And then now I'm in. So this little role play section I did by myself, you might need to watch it again because this is exactly what you need to be saying with these for sale by owners. And again, these are things that a lot of agents aren't saying. A lot of stuff is stuff that I have come up with just from experience, and it's again pattern interrupts and lines that will throw someone off because they're not expecting it. And again, with for sale by owners, there will be a lot of those that will eventually end up listing with an agent. So it might not be that you get a FSBO, an appointment on that first day, or that second call. Another thing you can do is stop by if you want to meet them in person. If it's close to you, I personally will never do an open house for a for sale by owner. I have heard and seen of agents that do that. I personally don't. I will always call and it has worked for me. So I'm never going to share with you information that I haven't done myself. So hopefully all of this has been very helpful. Again, if you want to generate your own leads and you want to stop relying on your team to give you leads, or maybe you're thinking about leaving a team because they're taking too much of your commission and you're like, I just need to generate my own stuff. For sale by owners, expired, circle prospect. Keep it simple. There's going to be so many, like hundreds of other ways for you to generate leads. And maybe after this, you have already watched like 20 different people on YouTube. Pick one, whoever it is. Maybe I share with you exactly what you want to do. Maybe it's someone else, but just do it, right? Everything that I share with you right now is all skill based. You can take any skill. The moment that you become very good with your communication and your objection handling, you're going to be very confident talking to whoever it is, whether it's a for sale by owner, expired, newer or older, a young person, an older person, a $200,000 mobile home, or a $20 million property, right? Nothing should scare you. But again, it has to begin with you taking action. And I have also seen so many agents, even newer agents in the business, that tell me, you know what, Lloyd, I sign up for Zillow leads and I'm paying $1,500 a month. And I'm like, well, you don't even know what to say. And then a couple months later, they're complaining to me that they're broke now and they got to go find a job because they paid Zillow or these other companies and no leads converted. Get yourself a lead generation platform like Vulcan 7 or something that's in your budget. If you want Vulcan 7, just go to vulcan7.com/Loida, fill out the form, and they'll reach out to you and just be like, hey, Loida told me to ask if you guys have any promotions happening, because they might be able to work with you on pricing. So again, reach out to them. Do yourself a favor, get better with your skills. Join my school community, right? School.com/prospecting, or for anything, just go to connectwithloida.com. And if I didn't mention it before, I'm mentioning it again for anyone that's just tuned in or watching the replay. I'm going to be doing these live streams every single Thursday at 3:00 Eastern. I'm going to have guests. So you can expect everything from more lead generation, prospecting, teams, cold calling, content, social media. So make sure that you tune in. And if you haven't subscribed already to my channel, make sure that you subscribe. My goal is to hit 100,000 this year, and I want to keep on impacting and helping agents. If this has been helpful, please like the video, share it with someone else, drop me a comment. That really would mean a lot to me, because then now I know that everything that I talked about is actually something that was helpful for you and your business. And connect with me, whether it's on Instagram or school. So with that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.